Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Super Tower series. Not going to be showing off any tower buffs this time, but a tower that I actually haven't done yet, that I probably should have done a long time ago, is MOAB Dom. Which, it's probably no surprise I actually haven't done MOAB Domination yet, seeing as MOAB Dom, medium mode prices is how much? Around 50,000. And Verbalace probably could have bought a MOAB Dom instead of that animation, but anyways, yeah, MOAB Dom is $50,000, and so that's kind of a lot to save up for kind of tier 1 defense, and this is really just kind of the MOAB Dom itself. No support, which I think MOAB Domination should be fine without any support. I guess it just may be a little bit more difficult. Don't know where to put Ben, so I guess I'll put him up next to Lives. I chose 4 circles because, well, why not? I figured that 4 circles probably isn't really a bad map for kind of boomerang, so I figured this probably would do decent here. Doesn't really matter because, you know, MOAB Domination does throw out his boomerang in a straight line and not really a curved pattern, so won't really be seeing any like kind of curved action going on here, but I guess that should be fine. Now we kind of do need to actually afford MOAB Dom by tier 1, as MOAB Dom isn't, actually no, the MOAB Dom itself is fine. It's really just a tier 4 MOAB press that's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage against Bloons, and so I figured that MOAB Dom would probably be the easiest way to do it. MOAB press probably could work, but it probably takes too much money into support to actually be able to beat the tier 1. But I figure it's probably not really kind of worth, you know, going through all that effort. I feel like it'd probably be a lot easier to save up for kind of farms instead of, you know, trying to make MOAB press work. All right, Monkyopolis was afforded on round 33. I feel it does feel a tad bit late, but I am hoping that with the kind of Monkyopolis down on the field now, we can actually gain a little bit more income in like kind of the coming 8 rounds. Well, would you look at that? Even after selling Monkyopolis, I'm like close to affording it. So I'll just sell this guy and then boom. MOAB Domination has been afforded. I'm not really sure if it's worth going for Opolis back, but I think I will do so. And I am kind of hoping that this guy is able to kind of solo the ceramic insides. As you can see, MOAB Dom absolutely shreds tier 1, where this should be no surprise. It does have MOAB Domination in the name, or I mean that is its name, so should be no surprise it's doing this well against kind of MOAB class Bloons. Ceramic insides don't really seem to be too bad, but I think once rounds 81 plus come is where we're going to start to struggle, as MOAB Dom doesn't really kind of do too well kind of super ceramics. Pretty easy, only took 2 rounds to kill. Not bad, not bad. Anyways, let me sell this and I'll get the boomerang back, and then let me get a Dart Monkey so that we don't die to camos. Alrighty, tier 2 about rolling in a cool $80,000, and so I think we only really need no support. Like I feel like just like maybe Alchemist, and then like Jungle Drum's Village should honestly be enough. 75,000 again shouldn't be no problem for the MOAB Domination in C here. So I think kind of while MOAB Dom is going to town Bloons, I think I'll save up for Ultra Boost. I got this guy like I think on round 55. And so not really too bad, only I guess like 4 rounds of 4 hands, not really too great. Actually MOAB Dom again is kind of struggling against super ceramics, or not super ceramics, just regular ceramics, which is kind of surprising seeing as the ceramic cluster is not really like that much bigger than tier 1. I think for tier 1 it's like 50 cerams, and then tier 2 is 70 I believe. Or it's kind of something like that. But I think we can maybe show off maybe the kind of new shards buff, where shards can actually do extra damage now. Can receive damage buffs like Alchemist. Anyways, after getting Ultra Boost, I think I'll just straight up spam BRFs about this time. It's not, I don't really think it's worth going for bottom path anymore. Oh, it's unfortunate that Bloons is kind of in the way, so I can't really see. What I want to do about kind of ceramics kind of come next wave, not really too sure. Obviously we're gonna have to slow them down, maybe get like maybe an absolute 0 or something else, but I feel like even then that still may not be enough, since we're definitely gonna be relying on kind of MOAB Dom's kind of little Kylie explosion that it has whenever it attacks MOAB class Bloons. Alright, I think I've kind of reached the point where I don't really need to spam any more farms to have like 200k, like almost 300,000. We're gonna actually have over 300,000 by the time Bloons spawns in, so I don't really think it makes any more sense to put down any more farms, so we're just going to be going for kind of straight up support at this point. So we're going for kind of our usual stuff, our Cripple MOAB, our Glue Storm, and we'll get Super Riddle down kind of eventually. I think I'll get Riddle, I think here is fine. I don't really kind of feel in the mood to kind of micro around, so I think I'll just kind of leave it there. I don't really think MOAB Dom would really need to. Let's get Perm Brew up. Have started Ultra Boosting the MOAB Dom, although it's only like 3 rounds of 4, so it's not going to have too many stacks, but I think it's fine. Energizer should help out in this regard. And really, it's just kind of like the primary buffs that we're missing, so let's get that. I'm not going to go for P Expertise, because that does damage. And so after that, really just kind of left is just True Sun God, which I think I will get up after this tier. See how good it is now. Even though it only has like, what, 1 stack. Let's see, DPS looking pretty good. Not really as fast as I thought it was, but I mean, we don't really have Homelands or all 10 stacks. So let me just get that up real quick. Let's see how it does then. Okay, so we got Homeland and Overclock active, and yeah, that's looking pretty good. I guess double attack speed really does make a huge difference, but who would have guessed? Anyways, I think this is the second tournament cluster, and it seems that we're doing a little bit better. No surprise here, as we do have tons of buffs on them at the point. Yeah, surprised I didn't actually do MOAB Dom earlier, as MOAB Dom is absolutely shredding Bloons right now. It is kind of unfortunate we don't actually ever see MOAB Dom used in general boss events just due to its price and there just being better and cheaper options. I would definitely like to see a kind of week where they kind of restrict maybe all the meta towers and then just kind of reduce the HP by like, I don't know, 50%, half, so that way, you know, we can kind of see some more different options kind of shine, you know? Well, that's unfortunate. I end up kind of sacrificing the MOAB Dom. I think the round just changed when I sacrificed it, so I had to actually get it all back. Yep, very unfortunate. I would just keep the temple around, but unfortunately Temple's going to be doing more damage due to primary sacrifices. Primary sacrifice is a suspiciously strong sacrifice for temples, if you didn't know. Alright, tier 4 rolling in, and MOAB Dom is doing incredibly well, not really surprising. I think it's kind of doing kind of as well as Taxzone did when it was max buff, just kind of absolutely just kind of melting through the health, as you can just kind of see it like physically kind of move here, which is actually kind of cool. And looking at the DPS, that's kind of ridiculous. I'd say that it was just like 10, 15,000, I would say. Yeah, it only took like 3 rounds to actually be able to beat Bloons, which isn't really surprising. Seems that MOAB Domination is really good at dominating MOABs, who would have guessed? But I do hope that NK either, you know, has more unique boss events where they kind of reduce health and kind of ban meta towers, or they kind of expand the kind of boss challenge option that we have to where you can actually have modifiers. It's like I was saying earlier, like with, 3x HP Bloons, I would have loved to kind of, be able to push that even further, see how far you can go, like maybe 4, 5 times, 6 times even. Same with Dread Bloon, I feel like 2x HP was a little bit too low. I would have loved to see like, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times Dread Bloon. But I do hope that Ninja Kiwi kind of expands further on the boss challenge options and give us like, either like, HP modifiers, like, sliders and reducers, it would be fun to kind of like, reduce HP and then, ban all the meta towers for bosses and then kind of leave like, leave options like, these guys like MOAB Dom, other towers you don't really kind of see too often used for bosses just because, well, they're just not really that good. But Ninja Kiwi has been sort of committed to doing some more interesting and unique boss events for kind of the, well, I guess like, the easier bosses like, Dread Bloon, Bloons. I don't really think Vortex has had anything. Actually, Vortex has had some interesting weeks. FaZe hasn't had any weeks that were really interesting in my opinion. Anyways, 119 is going to be beaten pretty easily. No surprise to come from that. So let's see how this guy does against tier 5. And I'm kind of expecting the same thing I saw from tier 4. Yeah, basically. It's a little bit slower, but definitely will be able to do it. Definitely is a lot better than Papanaw, which is kind of surprising seeing as, Papanaw has extra boss bloom damage, as well as the insane attack speed. But I guess this guy's MOAB damage is just straight up higher. Now, I got an absolute 0 here just in case ceramics are a bit of a problem. It seems like ceramics really aren't, so I guess I'll just sell it then. And slowly but surely, MOAB Dom is carving through that HP. I guess 4 circles was a pretty good map that I chose, because now that I look at the range, MOAB Dom kind of sees every part of the track here. So I guess there's that, no matter where Bloons is, MOAB Dom will still always be able to attack it. Anyways, last skull, last bad coming in. Bad should be no problem. So we should just be able to push back the insides, pretty quickly. Yeah, ZOMG has actually made negative distance. I do think this might be a little bit slower than kind of all the rest of the towers, maybe, now that I kind of look at it. It's taking around 9 rounds to be able to beat the last tier, which I think is kind of either like middle of the pack or just kind of on a little bit of a slower end. And I'll sell this guy so that way we're not slowing the rounds indefinitely. I guess MOAB Dom is doing just a really good job of that. So yeah, that was that. MOAB Dom is pretty good when it comes to kind of MOAB damage, but this should come at no surprise to anyone. Yeah, I can't believe I actually haven't done MOAB Dom before now that I kind of think about it, seeing as, you know, has MOAB in the name. But yeah, that was, I guess, pretty cool to see. So have a nice day, everyone.